You ever have one of those weeks where you're just minding your own business, welding together the dream you've spent a decade working for, and out of nowhere, the universe decides it's open season? On your sanity? Yeah, that was me, standing in the heat, halfway through tacking a hinge on a steel door, when the mailman pulls up looking like he'd rather be delivering a subpoena than junk mail. Registered letter, he mutters, and hands it over like it's radioactive. I ripped the envelope open right there, sweat and metal dust all over my hands, and the first thing that hits me is this weird mix of perfume and smugness coming off the paperwork. Letterhead, law offices of Sheffield, Drake, and more. Legal thread about my garage supposedly violating the visual integrity of Eagle Hollow Estates. Never mind that I built this place with my own two hands, on a slice of dirt I bought years before the first plastic stone facade popped up across the road. They want my garage gone in 21 days or else. Fines, lawyers, the works. I should have been mad, but honestly, I just laughed. These people couldn't possibly be talking about my property. I figured somebody typed the wrong address. Maybe some bored HOA busybody working overtime on Google Earth. But the more I read, the more personal it felt. So I did what any half-sane guy would. Pulled up the county parcel map. Double-checked every line. No mistake. My land, no HOA. Their bylaws didn't reach past the curb, and I've got the paperwork to prove it. Still, curiosity got the better of me. Google turns up Karen. Sheffield, HOA president, a retired professor of architecture, which, I guess, is code for full-time neighborhood cop. The name Karen fits. You know what I mean? I wanted to play it straight. So I called up Russell, my real estate attorney, the guy who still owes me beers after that septic tank debacle last winter. I sent him the letter, boundaries, the whole 9 yards. In 2 hours. Flat, we had a response. Polite, but with just enough lawyer muscle to remind them what private property means. I tacked a copy to my garage wall next to a rusted carburetor and got back to work. Thought that'd be the end of it. Not a chance. Next thing I know, strange cars start circling my property. First a white Mercedes, then a blue Prius, then another, each one pausing like I'm running some illegal casino instead of a workshop. Then it gets weird. 2 guys in orange vests and hard hats show up, poking around the side of my garage, measuring and scribbling on clipboards. Surveying for structure removal, they say, acting like I'm the one trespassing. I record everything. They drop a fake SOMA municipal compliance order at my feet, blurry seal, phony signature. The whole thing looks like it was whipped up in a high school civics class. Russell gets a kick out of it, calls it forgery within 3 seconds of opening the file. But the games keep coming. I find a glossy HOA newsletter in my mailbox, front page featuring a photo of my garage with a red circle drawn around the corner, calling it a removal target. The message is clear. This is no clerical error. Karen's out to make an example of me. So I call the sheriff, hand over my video, and the official notice. They take it seriously, tell me to keep an eye out. That night, I put up a fresh steel sign. Private property, not subject to HOA. Trespassers will be recorded and embarrassed. No more laughing. A few days later, I'm working on a door frame when I hear a low buzzing overhead. Look up, and there's a black quadcopter hovering 15 feet over my garage, camera pointed right at me. I film it, watch it drift back toward Eagle Hollow like some nosy little spy. Turns out, it's not the first flyby. I comb through a week of security footage and spot the same drone 4 different mornings, all around 9. I call my cousin Danny, who's knee-deep in cybersecurity and drone hobbyist circles. He traces the drone back to a DJI account registered to, get this, Elliot Sheffield. Karen's family tree is starting to look a lot like a conspiracy. If you think that's bad, wait. Later, I stumble onto a hidden HOA webpage with a visual standards enforcement plan. My garage, inside and out, plastered across the page, photos taken through my own workshop window. They've got a full-blown campaign, organizing complaints, scheduling votes, mapping out removal phases. That was it. I file a police report for surveillance and stalking. Hit up the FAA, start digging into every last contractor and LLC tied to Eagle Hollow. Danny finds out EHA's Property Services, the outfit that came to mark my garage, is a shell company run by, surprise, Elliot Sheffield. No license, no insurance, just a P.O. box. Now it's time to go on the offensive. Russell brings in Mike, a constitutional attorney who eats HOAs for breakfast. We put together every letter, complaint, drone image, and phony invoice, stack it all up like evidence at a mob trial. Mike files claims for harassment, fraud, conspiracy, and gets a local news crew to air the story. HOA tyranny, drones, fake demolition orders, the works. My inbox blows up, support from neighbors, stories from other victims. Even the ex-firefighter down the road, who says the HOA tried to fine him for owning a visible pickup. That's when the retaliation hits. My power gets cut, service box ripped open, cables yanked, scorch marks all over. Cameras catch a guy in a reflective vest with a crowbar at sunrise. The sheriff takes it seriously. We slapped the HOA and EHAs with a restraining order. No more trespass, no more letters, no more drone stunts. Karen gets served at her own front door, laughs it off, but the look in her eyes says the fun is over. Our expedited court motion turns up the HOA's private Slack channel, their community vision correction operation. Spreadsheets tracking targets, even budget lines for corrective action against my property. They're not just overzealous, they're organized. The DA gets involved, launching a criminal investigation. News spreads fast. Reporters start calling, blogs run exposés, screenshots flood social media. The HOA's finances unravel. They'd paid $42,000 to a shell company run by Karen's nephew for compliance consulting. It's classic self-dealing. A judge freezes their accounts, suspends Karen, and orders county oversight. The day we present our evidence in court, the judge doesn't hesitate. Injunction granted. HOA spending locked. Karen out on her ear. But she's not done. The very next morning, a woman in a gray jacket and cheap sunglasses is caught taking photos of my garage. Claims she's with External Code Liaison Services, flashes a fake card, bolts when I call her out. This is pure intimidation, but it just makes me dig deeper. Then, an anonymous flash drive lands in my mailbox. Surveillance clips from inside HOA meetings. Karen caught on tape plotting to push me into code enforcement hell and force a sale. I send everything to my legal team. We add criminal conspiracy to the charges. Soon after, a whistleblower comes forward, former HOA secretary, sick of the games. She leaks us a color-coded map showing their plan to extend HOA authority over my land and 2 other properties by rigging county overlays. Emails reveal Karen's playbook. Devalue, red flag, force a buyout. My case is now the tip of the iceberg. Then comes the real twist. County records show the HOA built half their common areas on illegal permits, sometimes right over protected storm drainage. Turns out, their own kingdom was built on fraud. Karen's house of cards collapses. She's indicted on a laundry list of charges, from forgery to surveillance to conspiracy. HOA funds are frozen, their charter suspended, state oversight moves. In the end, I settle for nearly $500,000, enough to upgrade the security system, pay off the mortgage, and paint a mural across my garage. Not part of your HOA. Keep out. Funny thing, once the dust settled, neighbors started coming by to shake my hand. The UPS guy honked every time he passed. Even a couple of old-timers called my garage the one they wish they could build. I never wanted a war, but when somebody tries to erase you for the sake of their own control, you either fold, or you weld your story in steel, plant your flag, and remind the world what private property actually means. So now, tell me, was I right to stand my ground, or is community harmony just another word for control? Drop your take below, and hey, if you've tangled with an HOA yourself, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, and share your war stories in the comments. Let's see where the line should be drawn.